Here's what happened yesterday on X, August 14th, 2025. You know, it was a day of powerful contrasts. On one hand, you had this incredible wave of AI-driven creativity taking over the platform, and on the other, some pretty serious corporate shakeups that could really change the game.
All right, let's get right into the biggest headlines from yesterday.
So, for the quick summary, Grok's new creative tools absolutely exploded, and users went wild with them. But behind the curtain, we saw some big moves. A co-founder of xAI announced he's leaving, and Elon Musk started squaring up against Apple with a lawsuit threat. Oh, and while all that was happening, SpaceX was busy showing off new rocket designs. First up, let's talk about all that innovation. The biggest story, really, was this amazing surge of creativity, all thanks to some major updates to Grok's AI. It all kicked off with this post from Elon himself. He basically said they're making Grok Imagine better every single day, and then dropped a little teaser that V2 is coming in a few months and is going to be, in his words, mind-blowing. That one post really just set the stage for everything that followed. And wow, did they ever follow. This wasn't just some small update that people played with. Users immediately grabbed these new tools, and the whole platform was just flooded with this incredible, totally unique AI content. It really felt like it was pushing the envelope.
And the stuff people were making was just awesome. You had folks digging up old family photos and turning them into these living, moving animations. People were making these crazy, infinite looping videos from just a single screenshot. One of the biggest things that went viral was an animation of a 50-year-old picture of Elon, which of course kicked off all kinds of meme challenges. Creators were just loving it, saying how accessible and fun the tools were.
But okay, while the platform was buzzing with all this creative fun, a totally different story was playing out. We're talking high-stakes corporate tension and some pretty big moves in the executive suites.
The first big showdown is this brewing fight between Musk and Apple. Elon publicly threatened a lawsuit, and he's accusing Apple of antitrust violations. The core of it? He claims Apple is purposefully leaving X and Grok out of the App Store's must-have section. This, of course, taps right into that much bigger conversation about tech monopolies and whether these giant platforms are playing fair with competitors.
And then there was this other major story, a big leadership change right at xAI, the company that's actually the engine behind all this AI innovation we were just talking about.
Co-founder Igor Babuschkin announced he was leaving. In his own words, he said, "I'm leaving xAI to start a new venture focused on AI safety," and he made a point to thank Elon for the opportunity. It seems like it was all very amicable. Elon replied with his own thanks, so it was all framed as a positive move, not a contentious split.
So let's zoom out a little and see what else was going on in the wider ecosystem, and what we should probably be looking out for next.
While all the corporate drama was happening down here on Earth, another one of Elon's companies was quite literally looking up at the stars. SpaceX also dropped some pretty important news on the platform yesterday. They showed off some redesigned grid fins for the next version of the Super Heavy booster. So these new fins are bigger, they're stronger, and get this, they're actually reducing the number of them from 4 down to 3. The whole goal here is to get much better control as that giant booster comes back to Earth for that pinpoint landing so they can catch it. And in classic Elon style, he also joked that the new grid pattern looks like it could make gigantic waffles.
So what should we be keeping an eye on now? We'll definitely watch for any official legal filings in the Musk versus Apple battle, or at least a response from Apple. Over at xAI, we'll be looking for news on new leadership and what direction they take now. From SpaceX, you can bet we'll see more photos and test updates soon. And of course, now everybody is waiting for that mind-blowing Grok Imagine V2.
Yesterday was really a perfect storm of innovation, conflict, and a whole lot of future-focused engineering. What will today bring? Well, check back tomorrow for the latest report.